Hey everyone, I'm so pumped to have this best practice. It's going to be led by Morgan, and she'll be jumping on in a second. I have a couple stories to share with you before we talk about delay result. That's what this business is totally about, and that frustrates everyone because we're growing up in a time and we're a part of a time where it's instant gratification, whether that's with your journey, right? How many of you have ever got frustrated with a workout or just becoming healthy and it just takes forever, or this business, right? Or just in general in life, like you just want things to happen now. You want change now, and you don't have to go through the heart and the hustle to get there always. So Morgan's gonna bring it and she's gonna lay it down. And Morgan is someone I am so fond of and someone that I respect greatly in this business. She's one of my PS coaches. She was once my challenger. And she's someone I didn't give up on. I saw the potential in her. She told me no a lot. I know I always say that, and she's probably rolling her eyes right now, but I think it's important to be reminded of that, because I love that Liz Colborn's on too, and Morgan's like helping her move right now, and Liz is moving right now, and she's on, and I'm sure Morgan's going to make a point of that soon. But it just shows, right? Like Brittany, who's on here, she's a new coach. She told me no for 2 years. Like I see potential in people and I don't give up on them. And it's just so important. Caitlin and Kate, like everybody on here, like it's just like easy to say that. Lisa, right? But you just have to trust this journey and see the potential in people and continue to work on yourself. So a couple of things. I had a new coach texting me today, not freaking out. That's such a bad word of using it. I don't want to say freak out. So awesome. And reached out to me and said, hey, what about this? Like on this national wake up call. And I said, listen, you're going to be flooded with information. Always. In this business, you're going to be flooded. You're going to feel like you need to do everything, be stretched thin, all this kind of stuff. Just work on yourself and share your journey. Easy as that, right? Like, yes, you can start adding things as you go, but please master taking care of yourself with your workouts and your nutrition. And then master taking care of sharing your story authentically in a way that inspires people, educates people, and just empowers people to not compare, but to take action. And that's the best kind of social media you can have, is saying, hey, I'm doing this and I never wanted to, but you can do it too. You don't have to just put me on this pedestal or see that I am always getting it done. But through my social media, I hope you're understanding that if I can do it, you can do it. And that's the type of messaging you should be sending out. I say that all the time on my live. If you are comparing yourself to me and that's all you're getting through my highlight reel, unfollow me. Defriend me right now, because that's not my purpose. My purpose is to empower so that you take action on your own journey. So I told her that, and she's like, how did you know? Like, you don't even know me that well, and how did you know that's what I was thinking? And I said, well, everyone always says I always know what they're thinking. It freaks them the heck out all the time, or I've just been in this for a little bit. So I know it's overwhelming. So please just like hit the pause button and try not to think you have to do everything to be successful. I've told you guys this. I've built my business putting my phone on a toilet, hitting timer, and taking a selfie. Like straight up, just share your journey and share authentically. Second, I was at a Packer bar on Sunday. If you guys know me, I'm a Bears fan, and then I was at the Packer bar, and it made me miss Wisconsin, so I was like, maybe I should be a Packer fan. And for me to question that, and Lisa's on here like, what the heck, maybe Caitlin too. Sarah, I already know, is super happy about it. But it took a lot of thought and consideration, but it hit me. You guys, when I was a full-time teacher, I only had an hour to give a day to this business. On Sundays, though, I cranked it out. If I missed a Rock the Business lesson, Rock the Basics back then, I caught up on Sundays. If I needed to do all these follow-ups, I did it on Sundays. I spent my entire Sunday in my business where I actually sacrificed watching sports. So maybe you're not into sports, but my point is this. I sacrificed. I stopped watching sports. I was at a Packer bar going, I don't even know who plays for the Bears anymore. Because that is how disconnected I got, because that was the time I used. And I remember going to, and you don't have to replace football games. That's not my point. It is making sacrifices in your certain schedule if you're serious about this business. And for me, the thing I could only replace was Sunday. I went to church and then I got to work. And so then I was at the Packer bar thinking, dang, I've come a really long way. Like, I can actually watch this game, not even worry about the business, like, because I work it every day. But that felt freaking good. I just have to say that, because yesterday I was crying on the phone to Sarah and Liz and whoever else called me, because I was struggling in the business. I was struggling. I was having doubts with myself, feeling frustrated, not wanting instant gratification, right? I have those moments too, completely transparent. Looks like Morgan's ready to go. I adore you, and I love that you reached out and you're like, hey, I need to talk to everyone about this, and I love that about you. I love that you just lead from the front and that you're just so transparent with what's working with you. So thanks for taking the time to speak on this best practice call, and I'm so excited to hear what you have to say, sister. Let me know if you're good.
Can you hear me? Everyone can hear me? Awesome. Give me a little like, woo, woo. Pumped to be here on Tuesday. So I just ran in my house. I'm collecting my thoughts. So be patient with me as I'm regrouping. I want to make sure that I come across clear and concise. First of all, thanks for allowing me to take over your downline Zoom tonight, Julianne. I feel really excited to talk about that this business is a delayed result business, and then how to use the 14-day free trial to elevate that a little bit. But hey, patience is key in this business. If there's one thing that some of you are new coaches and some of you have been coaches for 3 or more years, I think Sarah and Julianne, you've been coaching the longest on here. But even after being a coach for 2 years, I've noticed that this business is no longer what we used to do, isn't working now. So that's part of where this came from, is that I'm noticing that my results or my business is a little slower, but it's because I haven't changed and I'm working on incorporating new things. And so that's where this idea sort of came from, is that, we used to send out scripted messages to people on Facebook. And now there are too many creeps on Facebook that send scripted messages that everyone reads them and just skips over them, right? And we're moving to things like Instagram and what's stopping your scroll and pictures and Snapchat and live videos and things like that. So I wanted to make sure that we talked about patience, that we talked about belief, and that we talked about consistency, because those are going to be the keys when you're feeling like your business isn't going anywhere. It's still showing up, believing, and knowing that you're going somewhere. So belief, patience, and consistency, showing up even when it's hard. And my point tonight with that is I have a lot going on. Liz has a lot going on. We all have a lot going on, right? But I want you to give yourself a pat on the back for showing up tonight when it might not be the most convenient, when you might not feel like it, when you might not be ready to hear what I have to say or what Julianne has to say or what anyone else that'll contribute a little later has to say. So you showing up tonight already shows your belief in consistency. So you should be really proud of that. So who said yes the first time to this opportunity? When someone, all right, you two, put your hands down. You're not helping me with my point. No one, right? Hardly anyone. So let's say 10% of people say yes the first time, right? That's part of what goes into being a delayed results business. And that's where that belief and consistency has to come into play. It's knowing that relationships take time. And those scripted messages don't work anymore, right? So what do you have to do? You have to dive into your inbox. That's where the money's at. And you need to build relationships with people. And you need to put people first and not points first and not commission first. You have to put people first and believe in them before they believe in themselves. And that takes time. Trust, that takes time. Getting someone plugged into a challenge group, that takes time. Everything takes time. So if you're in this business for instant gratification and commission, you're not in the right place. And you have to understand that and understand your why and be connecting that with patience, belief, and consistency, and making sure that you're keeping your heart at the core of what's going on. So what gets you through the times when you're feeling frustrated, the times when you're feeling like things aren't working, the times when you're feeling like you're just stuck, right? Go back to the basics. You guys already know what I'm going to say, right? I'm going to say back to the vital behaviors. Personal development. When I am doubting, when I am fearful, when I am frustrated, when I don't feel like I'm enough, I dive into personal development and make sure that whatever I'm listening to that day is what will keep me patient, will add to my belief, and will help me create consistency. So what of those three things am I struggling with that day? And that's what I make sure my personal development is. Then I do my workout and I tell people how that made me feel. I don't just say, hey, I worked out today. It was really awesome. I tell people my emotions that I went through. Did I feel like working out today? Did I not feel like working out today? And I tell a story based on my vital behaviors. I tell a story based on what personal development I did. And I make sure that people see my consistency, which builds trust. And that's where you find your results with getting challengers and people to come into your life. And then the other vital behavior, right? We want to make sure we're continuing to be a product of the product and making sure that we're sharing our nutrition, making sure that we're inviting. And invitations don't always look like, hey girl, join my challenge group. It sometimes looks like more of a small talk conversation that gets into the, hey, you should join my challenge group. And what I mean by that is, for example, right now I'm having a conversation with someone that just went to see The Lion King on Broadway. So cool, right? But I turned The Lion King on Broadway to her going with her mom, to her having a strong family relationship, which is something that I can relate to, which creates trust. And I let her know that that's a priority in my life. And then I just asked, hey girl, would you be interested in doing this challenge group with me? I have actually a free trial and we can see if it's a good fit for you. Boom, right there. So, and one thing too is people always, this is just a little nugget totally aside. Sorry, I have these sometimes. Closing conversations. You want to know what the key is? Asking the question. Getting over the fear of asking the question of, do you want to join me? That's the only secret to closing conversations. There isn't a natural transition or an awesome statement that you can make, or it kind of goes along with the concept of it doesn't matter what you say, like the words you say, as long as it's the right person, you could say the wrong thing. You know what I'm saying? But closing conversations, just ask. I went over that with my downline the other night when they were asking me for tips and secrets. I'm like, you guys, just got to ask, how many of you are asking the question? And they all said they were too nervous to ask the question about inviting. So anyways, there's my squirrel moment for a second. Okay. So patience, belief, and consistency. We're getting right back to the core of our delayed results business, right? So often in this business, we feel like we need to invite to something that's paid, right? Because that's what we often get recognized for or get praised for. But I want to teach you tonight how to leverage the free group and the free 14-day trial to build trust. So what I try to do and what I'm planning to implement, because this is something that I'm starting to become passionate about, and this is how I'm changing my business because what I used to do isn't working, is to start a free group at the beginning of the month or maybe the second week of the month. And that first week of the month, really push the 14-day free trial. So let's talk free for a second, right? Everyone loves the word free. It's non-committal. It's a try it and see if I like it type thing. And it's something where a person will feel comfortable being vulnerable for a short amount of time. So what the person doesn't realize when you offer them the 14-day free trial and they accept is that you're sort of entering into like an unsaid contract with that person, right? It sets a time frame where they have to make a decision and you have to prove yourself. So it's not is it okay if I follow up with you in 7 days? You know, that's great to end a conversation too. How many of you end conversations with, let me know what you think? And then there's not that timeline, right? So the 14-day trial creates a natural timeline without you being pushy, without you being salesy. And it helps create that trusting relationship with, hey, at the end of the first week, you could expect this from me. I'm going to follow up with you, see what you're doing. And before it gets to the 14 days, I'm going to make sure to make a point of helping you cancel so you don't get charged. So they know you're not in it for the money then. And not that you ever would give them the impression that you're in it for the money, but it's just an extra step to show that you care, that you don't want them to get charged if they don't want to continue. But in that 14 days, you make it so freaking awesome that they are going to continue. I've had 3 people in the last month and a half do the 14-day trial. And after the 14-day trial, they signed up right away, which was really cool. Sarah, I saw a question from you. So I actually tell them what before they sign up? Do you want to unmute yourself?
Yeah. So before they actually sign up for the trial, you're saying, hey, like, I'm going to send you this 14-day trial. You're saying it charges you after the 14th day, but what we're going to do is I'm going to get in contact with you and see if this is something you want to continue or not. So you're having that conversation before.
Yes. Yep. Absolutely. Okay. Because it creates that trusting relationship, because when they sign up, they have to put in their credit card information. So they're going, if that was me, I'd be like, why do you need my credit card information for a free thing? Right.
Okay. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah. And I do believe that's changing when they upgrade the website. I think I heard that at Summit. But for now, that's what I say. So because people are always a little weird about plugging in credit cards for weird things, or for free things, I would be. So
yeah. Thank you.
Great question. So for someone to sign up, that leads me to my next thought. For someone to sign up logistically for the 14-day free trial, they do need, I haven't found a way to do a link for it. So what I do is I just give them my coach ID, and then they go in and sign up for the quarterly subscription, which is the $38.87. And you'll notice right below that button where you sign up for the quarterly subscription, it says won't be charged for the first 14 days. And that's where you find the free trial. So I've had coaches get confused, like, where's this free trial at? It doesn't say free trial anywhere. It's like in the fine print of where you'd sign up for a quarterly membership. Does that make sense to everybody? And like I said, I don't find a link, so I make sure they know my coach ID. And we have, is it in the BB Links app too, Sarah? Okay, great. So I just haven't trusted it, I guess, and I've just done it the way that I know that it works. But to get me as their coach, we have that conversation, like, this is how the transaction works. Nice. Thanks for sharing that, Jules. Cool. All right. So I have a free group start the second week of the month, right? And I invite the first week of the month. That strategically puts me, even if they push it till the end of the 14 days, before the end of the month for them to have to make a decision. So that contract or that unsaid commitment that they needs to happen before the end of the month. So that way they can either get right into your paid group for the next month, or they can say, no, I'm not ready yet. But you can give them your options on, hey, I run these groups every month. Do you mind if I follow up with you? What satisfied you about Beachbody On Demand? What did you feel like it didn't give you? And then I allow them to have hesitations to be able to talk about, oh, did you know this about the group, or this about BOD, or did you know that about BOD? During the first 7 days, they do the trial. I follow up with them every day, especially if I'm not running a challenge group. Like this last month, I didn't have one. But I have one person that I just sent a little like, hey, these are how challenge groups work. We teach you something in the morning, and then we make sure in the afternoon you're checking in with your nutrition and your exercise. And don't go too in depth. I leave it just very high level. Let's do that in this message. I'm going to be expecting you to let me know what workout you did every day and to tell me what your favorite healthy meal is. And then we kind of practice how challenge groups create that accountability, which gives them a sense of this is how it's going to work once we get you into a group. If I have a paid group going on, which I do, I add them for 24 hours to the paid group and say, hey, sneak around. I have nothing to hide. Let me show you what this is all about. And they appreciate that extra step to create the trust as well, without expecting, hey, spend the $160 on the challenge pack and then you get all this awesome stuff. You have to build that relationship. It's no longer about the scripted message. It's no longer about instant gratification. It's all about that relationship from patience, belief, and consistency. So really, I encourage you to leverage the 14-day trial early in the month. So that way, by the end of the month, you kind of know where you're at. And I also encourage you to, even if you think someone is going to purchase into a challenge pack, don't always count on that, because people change their mind. So you don't want to have your heart set on, oh, these 3 people at the beginning of the month are going to get me to SC6. And then what if they don't sign up, right? Then you're up a creek without a paddle and you don't hit your goal. So you want to make sure that you are continuously inviting. And this has hit me, invite like your hair is on fire, right? Who said that? Trina? Did she say that? Or Julianne, did you say that? Trina? Yeah. Cool. So ideas, how to leverage, what kind of challenge groups could you run with this 14-day free trial? You could do a 7-day work your BOD challenge and have people work through the challenge du jour. Does everyone know what the challenge du jour is on BOD? Yeah. So what it is, for those of you that might be watching the recording that don't know, is it's a workout suggested by Beachbody every day that helps you move through the correct progression of working the different body, like there's an arm day and a leg day and cardio and total body. And that way they get to try a variety of programs. And with the variety of programs, they also get to see all the program materials that come with it. So the meal plans, the nutritional ideas, the shopping lists, how to use the portion control containers, talk up, fixate. So you could run a 7-day free group based on that. Or even better, you could run a group with them doing the free trial of BOD and a Shakeology sampler, which would help incorporate the nutrition. And then you can kind of talk up both things at once. I haven't done a group like that yet, but that is definitely on my action list to do in the very near future. Just because BOD isn't going anywhere and it's the way of the future. You know, just like this business is changing with how we invite people, this business is also changing with the tools that we have to use to help people use within their lives. We used to DVD, and now it's all in an app you can download and take anywhere. So yeah, Clean Week is coming too soon, Sarah. Yeah, that would be awesome too, also to incorporate, especially because they can do the free trial and get access to all of that to see how important it is to incorporate these healthy lifestyle changes into their life. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it that I had for you. Just remember, relationships are at the core of this business, and relationships take time, and you would want someone to take time with you and let you know about these resources before you commit, because $160 is a lot to people. You know, Mariah's story always comes back to me. She's my success partner. She she had $170 in her bank account, and she spent $140 of those dollars on her first challenge pack. She lost 35 pounds, gained her life back. Right? But not everyone's going to be like that. Some people, like me, I was cool with the 10% discount. My math was bad, but I was cool with the safe thing for a little while. And it's because I was worried about spending money and investing in something that I didn't trust yet. And I know I killed you, just whatever. It's fine. We can joke about it now, right? And use it as a point. But anyways, money is vulnerable to people. So we have to keep that in our mind, and free automatically creates trust because it appears low expectation, but you know behind the scenes that you're creating that with the 14-day free trial relationship with an expectation to either continue or stop and know when to follow up in the future. And I haven't had anyone not like BOD. So yeah. Any questions, you guys? Did that make sense? Helpful?
You're amazing. Like, you're so good. I would just listen to you talk and just be like, oh, yeah. Like, everything you were saying was so good. And I just love that you said consistency builds trust, relationships take time, and trust takes time. With you guys, something to really take note though, like, I think it's easy to get lazy when people join you, even challengers who pay $160 to join you. I think it's easy to forget about them. Yeah. And with the free trial, you can't just be like, great, go try it, see ya. Like, you need to make sure that you have a space for them that is safe, a space for them that there's connection, a space for them to take their measurements and send them to you, right? Like, act like you're prepping them for a longer group, and just really invest your time into them, because I don't think that Morgan's just getting all these people to do this 14-day free trial and saying, see ya, figure it out. Oh, did you like it? Like, she is investing time into these people. So I think that's something to really gut check yourself with. Like, how are you when people join you? Are you looking at them as points? Or are you spending more time in your challenge group than in the feed? And I think that's just a serious gut check you need to have, because what is your job? Your job as a coach is to work out. Your job as a coach is to post on social media. And my favorite thing you said, Morgan, was closing conversations. Are you asking the question?
My squirrel moment was your favorite.
Yeah.
That's
good. Because it's like, I'll talk to so many coaches and they're doing everything. They're doing their workout. They're posting on social media. They're having tons of conversations. But that simple phrase is one I'm going to use now of, who is it? Like, what did you say to them? What was the closing conversation or question that you asked?
Or how did you ask it? Did you have, like, maybe if you'd like to, if you'd think about it or consider it, or ask them the question.
Yeah. I think that's huge. I think that's so huge. Yeah. Anyone have any questions? Like, take these Zooms, take these leaders, take these people to, like, unmute yourself, as scary as it may be, and ask a question, you guys. Like, she is gold. Everything she's saying. And she backs it up, guys. She's going to be a Success Club All-Star legend in December. That's really soon, meaning she's hit Success Club for almost 24 months in a row.
Yeah, working towards it. Man, that's a huge goal. That'll be crazy. So, hey, I had a question from Ashley I saw in the chat. I was trying to go back through, and if I missed something, let me know. When in your conversation do you bring up the 14-day free trial? It depends kind of what time of the month it's at. If it's towards the end of the month, I usually try to show them my paid group and show them, just because I like to push at the end of the month. And but it all depends on who you're talking to and how you build that relationship. Did you guys all take the color code personality test? You can pretty much tell when you're talking to a red, right? A red just wants to know what to do and they're just going to do it. But when you're talking to a blue, they ask a lot of questions. They're more analytical. They value the relationship. So when you spend, even a day talking to a person, try figure out where they're at. Are they assertive? Are they asking you straight up? Or do they maybe wait for you to prompt the conversation? Do they seem a little sheepish? If they seem red, go for it, sister. But if they seem blue, that's when I really try to leverage what I can do for them and help them feel, because blue are all about feelings, right? Secure in you and trust in you. So that's kind of how, there's not really a great answer to that question, Ashley. It's not
there's no script to
pinpoint. No.
Yeah.
And yeah, scripts are great, but they have to be yours, and they don't always work. They're not working for me right now, so I'm not using them.
And Ashley, I think it has everything to do, Sarah is about to say something too. It has everything to do with confidence. I was talking to Jordan and she's like, this girl is just like going back and forth. And I just said, tell her this. It looks like you need to follow me for a little bit longer and trust me a little bit more. It just sounds like you're hesitating, trusting me. Like, so she's like, no, I do trust you. And then Jordan's like, what do I say after that? Then say like, then what is it that's holding you back? Because everything you've ever done has never worked. Like, if you can speak that boldly, it's gonna be the game changer. Sarah, go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say, we're talking about building trust and relationships. I think a way to help fast track that and to help your conversations behind the scenes is what you're putting out on social media. Like, are you really letting people get to know you? Like, if I look at Liz's social media, I know that she had a rough past because she talks about it, and that really helps build trust. You're not just seeing like this perfect person that wakes up every morning and like gets her workout and she's got like Beckham going by the screen while she's working out, and like you just know her really well. So I think like even just sitting down and making a list of like who you are and different things that people would know about you, very simple things from what sports teams you like, if you like a sports team, to things very like a lot deeper, because if all you're posting is that you did your workout and it's very surface level, it's going to be really hard to gain trust from people. So that's really a great way to like fast track where you're trying to get those private conversations to go. And I think too, like, I kind of look at, see who likes my social media, and then I'll go just thank them for their love and support. And then as we start to have a conversation and talking about other things, I'm seeing how it'd be so easy to just be like, hey, by the way, I've loved talking to you. I'm running this free group coming up on this date. Have you ever considered doing this with me? And that's like super like easy, because you're not saying like, hey, I have this group and it's going to cost money. You're just saying, I have this free group. It's been awesome. Like, I think you would like it.
Right. And you're leveraging the confidence of like, this is what I have to offer you. This is what's going to change. But I also want you guys to not just lean on a free trial as well, and only lean on free, because my thing is this: if you're currently drinking Shakeology every single day and you made the investment yourself, and that's how I believe as well, like, I think that this free thing is awesome, but I don't want you to always just lean on that. I see so many people do free groups and that's it. There are some coaches that have challenge groups that are filled with 300 people and they still don't do anything else in this business. If you treat your business like a volunteer business only, that's what it's going to turn into. And then if you turn your business into one where you're like, I'm making the investment myself, I really believe in this, you need to speak with that confidence. I think people can feel your belief in what you do and your conviction in what you do. So for me, I think $160 is a freaking steal for changing every aspect of your life. But again, some people do need a little bit different start, right? Sarah and I had no objection. Like, we just like went for it. But not everyone else is going to be like that. But I also don't want you just to lean on this as a crutch. If you're looking at it as a crutch in like an easy way, it's not going to turn into something that you would want to actually help them with. But if you look at this as an avenue of like, wow, I get to show them the magic of this, then that's what's going to happen. So you have to really think about how you're going to leverage this. Morgan's leveraging it as an avenue. She's seeing it as, I want to build this trust and I know where it's going to take them. A lot of other people would be like, this is just easier. Like, I don't have to say the hard things. Like, I'm just going to do that, if that makes sense. Side note, I got a message from a coach. I hope they're watching this recording, not on our team, from Team Rockstar Fit, that sent me a huge script about joining her team. We have all mutual friends. Didn't even know me, like script straight up. Didn't answer, not going to waste my time. A follow-up one of, hey girl, were you able to check this out, blah, blah, blah. And all I said was, girlfriend, I'm a coach too. Not just a leader on the team that you're on, but like, you know, like all this stuff. But it's like, that is so sickening. Like, that is not creating a relationship. And she even said in a certain area of the United States, she likes working with people. Y'all, it was on the East Coast. I'm not over there. Like, and I'm just like, no, stop doing that. And so when you're genuinely connecting with people and caring about them and actually asking them questions that are relevant and not just business and not coaching and not just this, people are going to follow you. People are going to join you, and it's going to be the right way. So I hope she's watching this, because it's out of love, and that does not work at all. Sarah, do you want to end with anything else? Any other questions? Y'all are amazing.
I have a quick question.
What's up?
So I feel like Nikki and I have done free groups in the past, and it's just like crickets, because they aren't making a commitment like money wise, so then they don't feel the need to participate as much as what we've found. So then how do you fix that? Do you just like talk to them more frequently, like behind the scenes, or what would you do?
Well, sorry, Sarah, I didn't know if you're going to talk. You know I'm always
No, you're fine. I'm thinking.
Okay, you think, and I'll talk, and then you talk. Well, one, can you change your mindset of they don't work? So, because I am like, if I had to pick something that I love and don't love in this business, y'all know what I'm about to say. But I'm changing my thought process on it. I'm loving challenge groups now, but I love the business. I love what this business can do. I love the team. I'm so passionate about it. I love Zooms. I love the trainings. I love it. And challenge groups, I'm like, whoa, like, God, because I didn't start as a challenger. Like, I started as a coach. So that's what I know, right? But then I had to change my mindset on that because I was like, this is what I'm good at. I'm not good at challenge groups. Then I had to decide, no, you just have to learn to rock them. So I went into my challenge group being like, this is going to be awesome. So maybe you're getting annoyed with free groups because they're not working, or you're kind of have this like thought process about it. And that's kind of what it manifests into. And you don't put as much time into those free ones because they're free. But maybe you look at this free group as like, this is the freaking avenue. We're going to rock their socks off. This is going to be the most amazing experience. And it's only going to get better for them. And if maybe that's honestly the change it needs to make, for someone like me, that's what I needed to do to change for challenge groups. But I don't know if that's right. And Sarah probably has something way more brilliant and better.
No, I was just going to say, like maybe setting an expectation of, okay, now you've got this BOD trial, like this free group or whatever, but this is what I'm expecting you to do. Like, I'm just thinking about Sarah Morrison does like a contract for her challengers. Maybe you take her contract, make it smaller for free group people. So it's not so like, you know, if they're doing a paid group, that contract's going to be like, you need to send me your before pictures and you need to like, it's going to be very like structured and rigid. So maybe you just do something smaller and you're like, okay, for this free group, I need you to check in with me, you know, every other day or whatever. Like you just, I think maybe if you're just setting this is what you're required to do, then they're going to have to meet it versus like they have the trial and then it's like, they're like, are they even doing their workout? I'm not sure what's going on here.
Yeah. Or maybe even make it like weird and fun and like, not that it's not fun, but like make it where your check-in is just simply doing a GIF, like those little fun things. Like that's all. Like maybe it's just the work that they don't want to put in, which kind of sucks, but like it's just, and maybe too, they're not used to being on social media. I think so many of the people we work with, they aren't like on social media like we are. And so then they're not responding right away. They're not in their message threads where you're like, they've looked at it. Why haven't they responded? Probably because they're not used to being on it and then they forgot. Like we just don't think like that because we're always on it and we're like, what the heck? And we're all upset. So maybe the challenge group, you have to kind of think outside the box. Is it a text then? Like, do you guys do a text individually? Like, is there some other avenue and way you can like think outside the box with this?
Okay, thank you.
I don't know. That was kind of intense, but you know, I like that you asked that question. Any other questions? Everyone's like, no, we're good. No more questions. I'm just kidding. Well, we have groups always going on, and I think Sarah and I could both agree that we want you guys to focus on relationship building and not the stress of content building. And again, it's not so much what you know and learn, it's just that the action that you take. I would so much rather do a group like by myself and have you guys putting people in there and kind of learning that way. I know Sarah's the same, where we just want you guys to get confident in your delivery and confident in what you're doing and not feeling like you're juggling 5,000 things on your plate and teaming up. Like, I think that's huge, being able to team up, but there's always stuff going on. And it's, again, coaching is so simple. That's what I told the coach who texted me today. I said, this is so simple. Just share your journey and connect with people. And I love when Morgan said, connect to their feelings. I think I'm like the worst at that in the sense of like being blue. I'm so red. I'm so red, but I still find a way to do it, right? Because I really do tune in to like, did I want to work out today? No, but I did it anyway, right? But not everybody's like that. So relate to the people who just need that extra kick. All right, I'm going to end this recording.